StreamYard because you know what? It takes too long. Here we go.
We're finally live. Hey, everybody. I'm Haley Gray. I've got my friend Charlene, and we're talking about the WEN Summit because you haven't heard enough about it yet.
Yes, yes, yes. And guys, this is the best part about WEN Summit. It's all for you. It's all about you. It's for you. It's here to serve you. I mean, I don't know any other summit that literally is focused 100% on you, the attendant. Like you are attending this event solely knowing that everything that Haley has done and her team is to prepare it for your experience.
Thank you.
It's true.
And learning and networking and so much career, business development, and prizes too.
Well, you know, us women, we just need to have things that are fun, right? And ladies, I'm trying to tell you that these prizes are so that you can like self-care for yourself. These are prizes that you want. These are prizes that make a difference in your business and your personal life. So why not bring to the party fun and have prizes and giveaways?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's going to be fun. A lot of people ask me, well, how do I get clients online?
Oh, ooh, man.
How do I get more clients? Because I hear it. I don't have enough clients. Haley, I don't have enough clients. Haley, you don't really support small business because you won't let me promote myself.
Man, you know, I wish it was so easy, just as much as it's easy for them to just ask that question and expect it to just materialize and just all of a sudden, you know, come out. And you know, I think that question is so loaded with people who don't understand that you could do a couple of things well, but you don't have to do everything perfect. You know, done is better than perfect. Done is better than procrastination. So that's a loaded question. And the WEN Summit is going to answer that with all the speakers, all the vendors, the sponsors, everything that we're putting into it.
Absolutely. And part of getting clients is your relationships and your network.
Yep. Well, if you're in the people business, I don't know who else is paying you other than people. So you got to kind of master that.
Got Martians anywhere? Like, seriously.
Well, no. Haley, this is the thing. You know, people come to WEN Summit, you know, what is the intent behind it? What are they coming prepared to do? What are they coming, you know, with that expectation? And I think that's the first question when they show up at this event is like, if you're not here about people and if you're not here to give, I think you're in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it's kind of interesting because I hear it a lot of times, like, how can I help you? And I'll ask people, how can I help you? And they're like, just give me clients. Okay, well, who are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you trying to be introduced to? Who are you trying to meet? Give me something to work with to give you clients.
Right.
And a lot of times there's none of that. Well, I just need money. Okay. So how are you going to get money? What are you willing to do to get that money?
Oh, and then it's like the silence in the room. You can cut it with a knife because entrepreneurship and hobbies are two different things. Employee mindset, entrepreneurship mindset, two different. Work ethic, totally different. There's such a stark contrast that I think a lot of people come in this with, you know, this expectation of this romance that now I'm my own boss and now I have everything I need. And I think if you're not self-disciplined, there was no way you would have achieved anything as an employee. And there's no way in entrepreneurship you're going to expect anything different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joan says, I need money. Great, here's $20. Yeah. And good evening, Fem. Good to see you. Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny because, you know, when I worked in corporate, I worked a lot of hours. It doesn't hold a candle to how many hours I've tended to work and have fun at it too with being an entrepreneur.
Well, and I think the misgiving is, you know, sales is a part of how you get clients and having, you know, not only the charisma, not only the personal relationships, not only the grit and opportunity to accept rejection, but all of those things don't exist in the employee world. Because you get a check no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, your employer is still giving you a check every 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I see it sometimes with contractors that we hire that they're like, oh, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to piddle around and I'm going to get paid. And the problem, you know, from my side is an entrepreneur is if you come in and you piddle around, I don't have money to pay you because then I have to pay you twice as much. And you have to understand when I'm paying you, it's coming out of my pocket,
Right.
which means I'm literally taking money out of my children's mouths.
Right.
So when
But
you're piddling,
they don't get that though. They don't understand that.
mm-mm, no.
And
And it's a
that's the
very
biggest
different mindset.
disconnect.
Working for a small business, working in a small business is a totally different like shift. And I see sometimes people try to take their hobbies and I saw the look and monetize every single hobby.
Well, and the thing is too, it's like there's a place for that, guys. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
in the same lane that we're in. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't try to fool yourself in this illusion that you're going to get the same results that people who work at it, live it, eat it, breathe it. You know, when you're an entrepreneur, you're hunting and you're killing and you eat what you hunt and you kill. It doesn't just show up
Mm-hmm.
miraculously on your table. Like that is such a fallacy. I think a lot of these people get into business thinking, oh, it's just going to show up. It's like, nope, it doesn't just show up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like being like a shark, right?
Yes.
You know, a shark is out doing what sharks do. They're hunting, they're eating, they're doing their thing.
Right.
That's part of being an entrepreneur is out, you're hunting, you're doing your thing, and you're being smart about it.
Exactly. But
Because you're
what?
not wasting time and energy hunting in areas that maybe you shouldn't be hunting or hunting in the wrong way.
Oh, wait, that could be marketing 101. Oh, that's sales 101. Oh, that's social selling 101. Oh, that's getting clients online. Darn. Guys, we promise it's simple, but it's not simple.
Mm-hmm. And it's not landing in Facebook jail and getting your account shut down because you broke all the rules on Facebook and people started reporting you for being a spammer, or losing your LinkedIn account because you hooked up this great program that somebody sold you that told you that this is going to be the be all end all for lead generation.
And the bots are taking over. And yet people don't realize like that's not how real relationships are built.
Well, and the problem with the bots too is that they will get your account shut.
They do. They do.
Facebook will give you a warning you'll end up in Facebook jail. LinkedIn does not warn you. One, and you are done, your account is shot.
Because they're so strict. Their policies are so strict. They
Mm-hmm.
want to keep the organic. They want to keep high touch relationship focus because that's how that B2B space runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and B2B space, even B2C to some extent, is highly relationship focused.
It really is. But Haley, that's the question, right? Like, what does it take for people to make that shift? Because I think you're either compelled or you're going to be invited. And a lot of times, you know, we do these calls and we want to invite them, we want to encourage them, and yet until they actually have pain, they don't understand to make the pivot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that that's a lot of times why you hear the stories about, you know, the big speakers in the world who are like, you know, I was down to my last $5 and I was sleeping in my car before this great talk that I was going to give. And I had to sleep in my talk. And I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Brandon Bouchard. It was one of the big ones. But you hear the story over and over again. And I was down to my last whatever. And if I didn't make money on the stage, then I wasn't going to be able to get home.
Right.
And I think that that fires a change where you're like, what got me here is not going to get me there. But
Right.
there is definitely a point where you have to achieve that like change in your brain and you have to be like, oh, okay, I'm ready to really make that change, make that shift.
Well,
Do
and
things
that's the
differently.
gap. That's the gap, right? And that's the gap
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, coming, getting trainings, coming, getting workshops, coming, getting networking. Those are the gaps that get filled because you're showing up. And that's half the battle. You have to show up in order to get something.
Totally. Yeah. And it's that finding and filling the gaps that's the tricky part. That's what Char does, finding and filling the gaps.
And you know what? I do that not only because I love it and I get excited, but it's a real solution. It really solves problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not like this Band-Aid. It is like a cemented, okay, here's a solution. You can use this as a bridge, get over to the next thing and keep moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And that's kind of the interesting part to me is finding and filling the gaps. If I could help just one person during this summit find and fill the gaps in their marketing, it will be not just evolutionary, but revolutionary when you start to see it. It's amazing. It really is.
Well, and I think it gives them that chance, that they have a fighting chance now when they fill in the gaps and they're able to make these pivots and these changes. And I think one of the hardest things that I've experienced is a lot of times they're so close to the problem they can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And until they're willing to step away from it and have someone else coach them up and help them see it, they keep just going around in the circle and this
Yeah.
endless pain cycle of money and pain of time. And it's like, why do you continue to do this to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Get the gap filled.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes we're scared to fill the gaps.
Yep.
I know
And
I've definitely been there.
Well, those are the
scared to do the
stories.
things.
Those are the hard stories that make it why you're so relatable to everyone, Haley. You care about people because you go, I get it. I know what it's like, right? We have empathy on a call because we understand it. We get it. We
Mm-hmm.
feel for them, but we're just trying to help them get out of their own way.
Yeah. And, in business is this kind of fascinating mix of here,
Mm-hmm.
Getting out of our own way in our head, and then the actual execution piece. Knowing
Yes.
what to do.
Wait, you mean I can't just go see this person, what they're doing and do it? It's like, nope. Oh, you mean I can't just read this book and read? Nope. You actually have to fail fast, fail forward, and fail with the intent to learn.
You mean you can't just like copy somebody's 3-step process and magically make $1 million?
Nope.
What?
Well,
I think that's one of the biggest lies that I hear out there is the,
totally.
build a funnel and, spend $5 a day and I'm suddenly going to make, whatever a year. And I think that is a really bad misnomer because it doesn't work for 99.9% of the audience.
Yep.
There is going to be that one person in 1,000 who does get lucky. And, the other 999 are just going to lose their shirts.
But guys, this is the thing. Try to understand why we're talking about this. It's because we're trying to get you to that next benchmark where you can say, okay, it worked, it didn't work. We're just trying to get you those little successes. Don't worry about the big wins because the big wins come with the little successes along the way.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that it's like a snowball.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you're like, you start with this teeny tiny little seed of a snowball and you start rolling it. I mean, Women's Entrepreneur Network, when we first started 6 years ago, had 0 people in it. It was me, one person. And then I invited friends.
But it had to start somewhere.
And it didn't grow overnight. Yeah, you'll take the little ones, right? It's all about the little bitty baby wins and filling in the gaps one by one by one by one. Mm-hmm. And to me, that leads to much more successful businesses in my experience. And, personally, professionally, and, case studies at Duke, it's always those small wins and those little changes that lead to much more successful businesses than the business that just like blew up out of nowhere.
And I think that's what people don't want to see below the surface, right? They don't want to see the time, the effort, the corrections, the adjustments, the pain, because they always just see the outside. Mm-hmm. They don't understand all the things that were made to make that success you see possible.
Yeah. It's like that iceberg, right?
Yep.
Where you see that little teeny tiny tip on top, but what you don't see is the 99.9% of the work.
No. And this is the part that I love the most is that we want to give back from all of our experiences. We want to share with you. We want you to come and ask us questions because we wish we had someone like us to ask.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that was one of my things that I really took away from my time in corporate was seeing how few women were getting into STEM, seeing how many few women were getting into leadership positions. 10% of my class at Duke was women.
Wow.
10% of my class getting MBAs was women.
Wow.
It's really hard to become an executive if you don't see other women doing it, but you're never going to get there if you don't get the education, if you don't get the opportunities, if you don't get the experience. And the numbers are similar in entrepreneurship.
Well, it's really because there are things that are not given to you. You have to push against, right? Like a diamond, you have to be under severe pressure you have to be under sometimes some scrutiny and some negative impact. Like those are part of the process, and you can't just
Mm-hmm.
expect to read a book and go, yep, I got it now.
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's the gap we want to fill as we
Mm-hmm.
talk to you
I
guys.
mean, we talked about it all the time in business school about, how cash is king and how this is that and how that is that. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But it is totally different when you live it yourself and you do it yourself and you have the scars to prove it, literally, at times, oh, well, that's why they said I needed to have that in my contract. Oh.
Well, and I don't think that's fair, when someone looks at us and says, well, yeah, that looks easy, and I'm like, do you understand all the pain that makes it look easy for you to walk in and just enjoy the benefits of it and enjoy
Mm-hmm.
how easy everything is? That's just not real life. It's not true. It's not real, and it's just an illusion you're under.
Right. No, totally. And I mean, it can look very easy and it can work with flow and ease, but you have to figure out what that means.
It's true.
It doesn't have to be like Sisyphus pushing a boulder up the hill,
Now,
uh, but
but
it
I
does take
think,
some work.
but and that's kind of where I think you and I really want to pour into them, because we want you to see and hear and learn and take action so that you can skip some of the scars and the battles we've gone through and just really allow yourself to step up and step in
Mm-hmm.
to whatever you're trying to do, guys. It's really this great place. If you have what it takes, it is magical.
Absolutely. It is
Mm,
wonderful.
it is. And you get to meet great people, and it's been a fun journey with Haley and I consider her a mentor, a friend, someone I look up to. And I just think that's because,
Likewise.
well, thank you. But this is what happens when you really put the time and the work in, guys. This is the gap that gets filled by relationships and people and being able to learn from each other.
Mm-hmm. And build the relationships to build your network, to build your referrals, to build your partners, to grow your business. Oh yeah, that's how it works.
I know. Guys, that's a
That's the
sneak
easy
peek.
way to do it.
This is the sneak peek. We're giving you the cheat sheet. So hopefully you're writing this down. You're going to be prepared for tomorrow. You're going to open
Mm-hmm.
yourself up,
Bring
because
the
we're trying to
notebook.
give you, yeah, bring your notebook, bring a pen that works, because that's
Yeah,
sometimes a problem.
I got all my colored pens. I am so excited. I have all the colors in the rainbow.
Mm, man, are you just not excited about tomorrow, Ellie? You've been busting your butt. This is going to be a big deal tomorrow.
I am really, really, really excited about this event. I am honestly, once we get to the point of having the summit, I'm almost tired because I've been pushing it so hard for so long and all the tech that goes on in the background. And I got to say, shout out to my team. Shout out to Irene. Shout out to Tish. Um, Shout out to Ethan, who's not watching this, but he is one of my tech people, my developer on my team, and he is amazing. And it is, honestly, it takes such a team effort to make this happen. Anybody who's done any kind of a summit with any kind of number of people, it is like, wow.
I love that. And it's because of your entire team that this is possible for all of us. So thank you guys for dedicating that time and actually showing up.
Hundreds of hours of work to get to this point. So we're excited to be here and excited that tomorrow at noon Eastern, we're going to be doing that. The tickets, I posted here, the link, you can see it in front of me. It's wensummit.com. If you're not registered, you want to register. It's just $1.
Go for it, guys. Do it.
It is crazy. It is just $1. And
Ugh.
it is going to be so much fun and, so enriching and so amazing. And Charlene is one of our speakers, in case y'all didn't get that. And one of our sponsors. So we're excited to have her. And Susan Fessenden is another speaker and sponsor. We've got so many speakers, so many amazing people presenting. It's going to be jam-packed. I'm going to be sitting there with my notebook taking notes furiously. So I hope you'll be there with your notebook taking notes furiously. And I'm going to be presenting a bit too.
Of course. Well, gosh, Haley, thanks so much. This was awesome. I hope everyone takes advantage of this and just knows that we're here to pour into you and give as much as we can to you from our own experience.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.